Well, there are some jobs I like to put off for some strange reason. They have to be done. This is one of them. Especially painting the important trunk, because it's so important that I get this right. I don't know why I put it off, because it has to be done, and frankly, I do enjoy doing it. It's a pretty rewarding part of the painting. And that's because, of course, it is significant. I don't want too much paint on my brushing there. Plenty dark right there. So let's try to, I don't want it to appear to be black really, but I don't want a lot of light in there. Under this bit of canopy, and under this one as well. Or behind it rather, maybe. Okay, that's enough. I think we can start to get a little bit lighter. This is a burnt sienna and ultramarine blue and titanium white job. So not a big variety of color. But it has to be handled somewhat subtly, I would say. A little bit below that. Okay, raising our values a little bit here. And raising our chroma a little bit. Less titanium, no, less ultramarine blue, a little more burnt sienna. So tempting to jump in with stronger colors right away, but I think that would be unwise. Uh, okay, I think we can strengthen things up now a little bit. Do I really want that solid line all the way through there? I don't think so. Okay, a little more white. All right. A little more burnt sienna. A little more white. Yes, that seems very strong, and it is. Add a hint of ultramarine blue to that, just to cool the temperature of the paint. I'm not really lowering the value by very much. Okay. Let's not get too dark too quickly here, so I'm going to raise the value of this stroke. So you notice I established it as a pretty dark stroke of paint, and now I'm bringing it back to life a little bit. And that's a little too much. So I'm going to fix it as I go in this case. I don't like that smudgy bit there. I want this to be quite strong. Okay. Now let's. Oh, I'm getting towards the end of my where my screen is reaching here. Let me just drop the camera. No, let me just re-angle the camera so that you can continue to see what's going on. Excuse me. broken branch outcropping and a little lump below that. I think we're doing okay. And a little more, a little more burnt sienna. I would like the light to become a little more apparent, a little more intense as we go down the stump. So that's kind of what I'm doing, or down the tree trunk rather. That's kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing. All right. Some shots of higher value here. Not using ultramarine blue now, we're going straight to burnt sienna. Now granted, the brush is indeed contaminated with a little ultramarine blue, and I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried in the least about that. I want a little bit of contamination now and then. I do not want debris like that though. Oh, come on! Why is it always in a place like that? You tell me. I just want my little line to be reasonably clean right here. That'll do. Okay, that'll fade off. Okay. Now we're going to jump into the ultramarine blue again. Going towards the cold side of the trunk. So you see I have lower values here, a little colder here. Lower values here, a little colder here. There's more of it across the diameter of the trunk, of the darker toned down stuff on this side, and just a skinny bit here, because I don't want my highest chromas, my highest values to be right on this edge. It gives it a bit of a flat appearance if you do that. I like to give it a bit of a notion that it's doing this. So I'm painting the tree in, I'm painting the trunk in right now, but my final touches will involve laying some possibly even higher, stronger, higher temperature, stronger value strokes, but they will not be on the edge. They will more than likely be just away from the right hand side. You know, just a bit of that. Okay, we'll we will drop the level of the angle of the camera again. I want to stay zoomed in so that you can see fairly closely what's going on. I hope my fat head isn't in the way too much, but I'll try to use my skinny head for the rest of this. Okay. Back to our ultramarine blue. Going down in our values again. How is that? I think that's okay. Breathe. Gotta remember to breathe. Back up in values again. A little bit of warm burnt sienna. How is that? Is that okay? I think that's about right. It's a very strong line. That's too strong. Oh, come on. Get rid of the junk. There. That softens things a bit. I think that works well. Let's just go around this one. Alright, more burnt sienna, more titanium white. Let's leave that bump in there. Why not? Keep it a bit interesting. Okay. That's more or less it. I may go in and play with it yet, but not at the moment. Well, okay, I'm going to finish it up. This is a little too dark over here. I mean, the light is sort of coming from the right-hand side, so I should probably do a better job of matching it up. Not exactly, but similar, you know? This is really, in general, the darker side of the tree, so that's what I'll try to do. I'm going to smudge this line out a little bit. I'm not fond of that. Okay. Now if I look only at this, at the trunk, I'm very tempted to put some real intense color on there now. You know, really bring out, like just go straight titanium white and burnt sienna. But if I do that, I might overpower things. I don't want to do that. If I do it, that is going to be, again, the step that I often call, always call, step 6. Even if it's only a painting that I do in 3 steps, I will still always call the final step, step 6. What I will do though is let's just back up, square off the camera, so that you can sort of see things in context a little bit. Yeah, so you can see, you know, the idea is to reintroduce some light into the foreground. Don't forget this still, these trees will have a lot of light and dark areas in them, so they'll pop on their own later. For the time being, I did paint in the greenery. I wanted to get those shapes fixed, refined, finished, you know. The top here as well, but not down here. So yeah, that brings, you know, it helps to introduce the sky a little bit to the foreground. And then we get into these rocks, and some of these rocks are going to catch a little bit of light as well. But generally a little more subdued. Certainly more subdued than these rocks here. So far, I think I like it. Okay, see you soon, guys.